The Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus has just announced that they started filming for the third season. This third season will adopt the Titan's Curse, or the third book of PJO, and in this video, I decided to have a quick discussion of this new season, a new photo we got, about some characters, and how this new news impacts the future of the Riordanverse today. So with that, let's get started. In celebration for the start of filming, we have this pretty cool shot of Walker Scobell, or Percy Jackson's actor. Walker's holding up a movie clapper board with a label that says Percy Jackson Season 3, so it's pretty clear that this means they're filming right now. Aside from this, Walker is in front of a pretty interesting background, and I think this is actually Westover Hall, or a military academy in Maine, where we actually met Nico and Bianca D'Angelo. This is where the third book started, as Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Thalia went over to Westover Hall to recruit Nico and Bianca to Camp Haplet. Other things to note about this scene is that the gate over here might be the entrance of the academy, and there's this blue car. I'm not really sure if Percy and the gang are going to drive just like the first season in episode 6, but I think that's kind of unlikely because I remember that they were walking to the school in the book. One last detail that I noticed is the fact that there's snow around the place, and this is pretty good because it was snowing during this time. Like, it might be a small thing, but I like how they're following little details like that from the book. Also, I have to admit, Walker looks so much older compared to how we saw him in season 1, and that's pretty hilarious, but it does make sense. Currently, Walker is about 16 years old, and he started as a 13-year-old in PJO, so it has been quite a while. Speaking of this, I like how they're already filming season 3 because Walker, Leah, and Aryan are inevitably going to grow up over the years, and they really need to film what they can if they want to get the 5 seasons for this TV show. Walker being 16 years old for the filming of season 3 is still kind of okay to me, even if Percy in the book was 15. Like, it's just a 1 age difference, but things like this should remind Rick and the gang to really speed up the production a bit, because it's going to be pretty awkward if the trio are way older than their actual book counterparts, which was the issue from the movies. Moving forward from this though, in terms of plot and new characters, this season will take place just a few months after the Sea of Monsters, so it's kind of on point for them to start filming season 3 right now. 2 major new characters that we got from this upcoming season are Nico and Bianca D'Angelo. In season 3, we have Levi Chrysophilus as Nico, and his sister Bianca will be played by Olive Abercrombie. I actually made a video last time talking about their casting updates, so you can check that out for more info, but ultimately, they're the only casting update we have so far for season 3, which is kind of surprising because there's so many characters in the Titan's Curse. We're yet to get updates on new characters like Zoe Nightshade, the Lieutenant of the Hunters of Artemis, Artemis or the Goddess of the Hunt herself, Rachel Elizabeth Dare, or a mortal who could see through the mist, the Titan Lord Atlas, or the main antagonist of the book aside from Kronos, Aphrodite, or the Goddess of Love, and even to new side characters like Selena Beauregard and Charles Beckendorf. These characters all play pretty good roles in the book, so we're still on standby if they are going to appear in season 3. However, there's a source that states that some characters might get cut from the 3rd season, and it has caused controversy in the fandom today because, again, one highlight of the Titan's Curse is the amount of new characters we get. These characters were introduced here to have proper build-up and roles in the later books, so them cutting a lot of characters is honestly a really big red flag for a lot of fans. I actually mentioned this in my previous season 3 video, but I decided to make this video to fully talk about it now, because I tried thinking about it more, and I think it's both a good thing and a bad thing for the showrunners. On the good side, like, let's start positively, I get that it would lessen their needed budget for the cast, and they could focus on more scenes in the book that would require more budget, especially if the character isn't as important. An example of this, in my opinion, would probably be Rachel Elizabeth Dare. It might be controversial to some, but this is just my thoughts, and I'm open to other opinions. But going back, I think I would be fine if they don't show Rachel in season 3. Like, if you think about it, she only shows up in a short moment, and although she does become Percy's mortal friend from there, I feel like they could also do this in season 4. Season 4 will adopt the Battle of the Labyrinth, or the 4th book of PJO, and Rachel plays a way bigger role there. It would be great to get introduced to Rachel here, but if the show is going down with this route, I hope they still manage to establish the relationship Percy and Rachel have, because it was honestly a pretty sweet friendship. This relationship is very important to Percy's journey, especially because of the entire Percy, Annabeth, and Rachel love triangle theme that Percy never really noticed until it was too late. Ultimately though, I think it's okay to remove some characters in Season 3, only if they're willing to fix it with the next seasons to make the scenes more impactful and meaningful for the show. These characters in the Titan's Curse play various roles in not just this book, but also for the next books of the Riordanverse. And if Rick and the gang want this show to continue, they had to make the necessary adjustments to stay true to the story of PJO. A good example of this will be Selena and Vikendor's impacts in the series. They started out as side characters in this book, until they slowly grew more and more important to the later books, and the TV series needs to show their significance because without it, their character arcs would feel less important to how it was in the books. And that's what they should try to avoid, as that's the downside of cutting these characters. Rick added these characters for a good reason in Titan's Curse, and the showrunner should make the right decisions of what to keep or adjust for the show. I actually made a video on the top 10 things they should keep because of this, so you can check that out as well. But ultimately, I think that this news is a really good thing because Season 3 might even come out on December 2026, which is next year already. This heavily contrasts with the show's first and second season, as Rick and the gang took quite a lot of time before Season 2's release. Like, just to prove my point, Season 1 came out on December 2023, and Season 2 is going to be released on December 2025. This 2-year gap is pretty wild, and that's why Walker, Leah, and Aryan already look much older than they were before. Rick and the gang must have realized this because they're now filming for Season 3 as early as now. We're yet to get more details on the production, but overall, I'm still so excited for the future of the Riordanverse. It seems very clear that Rick and the gang are working to get 5 seasons of the show, and I hope they pull it off, because if this series becomes successful, we might actually get spin-offs for the Heroes of Olympus, or the Trials of Apollo, or even Magnus Chase and the Kane Chronicles. Added to the fact that they're trying to work on more and more seasons as possible, I think the start of filming for Season 3 is already a really good sign for the future of the Riordanverse. We might get more and more content in the future, and I'm really excited about what they do with the books that we all grew to love. So how about you? What do you think about these updates? Let me know in the comments down below.